Trading Nut, Episode 1.
You, as the trader, you have a responsibility to yourself to say, okay, how can I beat the market?
The market's going to do something. Your job is not to fight it.
The market never, ever runs away. It's always there.
That personal diary of trading will make you a much better trader than...
I could be right about the direction, but wrong about the trade.
Don't focus on the monetary side.
Trying to make too much money on a trade is what I have seen killed every trader.
Your losses offer you some of the greatest insight you can find into your mistakes.
Relax, learn the process.
Candlestick pattern trading is a freaking trap.
Don't be in a rush to become a millionaire.
Let the market tell you what the market wants to tell you.
This podcast is not financial, trading, or investing advice of any kind. What's up, traders? Welcome to Trading Nut, the very first episode of the show. Now, I'm going to have a few new listeners on this one, I think. So there's a bit of a change here. I am the ex-host of the 52 Traders podcast. Well, in fact, the 52 Traders podcast has now become the Trading Nut podcast. We haven't lost all those episodes that I've done. So I've done I've counted them up, 123 episodes or interviews with traders, 154 episodes, and there's other hidden and bonus episodes in there as well. And on Trading Nut, they haven't disappeared. They're just behind closed doors, so you can still get access to them. You'll absolutely love them. I mean, the feedback I get from guys listening to the show is quite incredible. I actually had a little email from, or a message from one of the guys today who works in the industry, and he was talking to me about some other stuff, and then out of the blue, he just goes, hey, FYI, just wanted to let you know your interviews are great. You have a real gift. So thank you very much. You know who you are. So look, guys, I don't know if I've got a gift or not. You can tell me if I've got a gift, but I do love meeting these people that trade the markets, and you've heard some of them on the intro. You're going to hear from another one today. It's actually a bit of a different kind of episode. The episodes going forward are going to be mainly interviews with guys who trade professionally. Either they've got a public profile, or I've managed to hunt them out and they're one of these ones that are under a rock and just hidden away with massive amounts of gold nuggets for us to sort of sink our teeth into. So that's what the podcast is going to be about going forward. I've done a lot of these, so I know the right questions to ask, and I'm going to ask the questions on your behalf so you guys get to listen to the answers. Now, this has been behind closed doors for quite a while now, a year. The 52 Traders was a paid subscription. It is no longer, so if you're a pro member for 52 Traders, you're going to be trying to get on the site to see what's going on, and you're going to be redirected to tradingnut.com. And that's where everything is. And the good news is everything from 52 Traders is now on the Trading Nut website. All your membership there is there. You actually still got your pro membership, and you can still get access to all those interviews from the 52 Traders podcast. You've got a better members area as well. So there's a whole bunch more information there, things there to sink your teeth into. All the courses that you've ordered in the past, that's all in there as well. So guys, it's all over there at tradingnut.com. I've ported it over. It's taken me a while. It's like blood, sweat and tears to make this happen, but I knew that we needed to make a change. Not just is it the fact that, I'm getting much better at trading, but fundamentally, and I'd mentioned this in previous episodes, is I needed to find some congruence with what I was doing, and where my real talent is in trading with the robots. So using robots to trade. I've got a passion for it, and at Trading Nut, it's all about passion. If we can grow that, we know from all the interviews I've done that if we can grow that passion for trading, the profits will come. Okay, so that's the focus here, guys, is to really get passionate about this industry, about this profession, about looking at the charts, about knowing what the market's doing, listening to other traders, learning from other traders. If you can grow that passion, the profits will come. Okay, so hopefully you understand the big changes here from the 52 Traders podcast. So I won't be saying them too much in the future, although I do drop it in some of the earlier episodes here. You'll hear me talk about 52 Traders because I was recording those episodes before I knew I was going to call this new podcast Trading Nut. In fact, we even talk about it, I think, in this show here today. And before I tell you what the show's all about, the other big change here at Trading Nut is that if you're a pro member, go in, you still get access to all those interviews. You can actually cancel your membership pretty easily in there as well. But you have a massive opportunity here up until the 1st of October to come on board as a gold member. So this is a new membership. And the main difference between the pro membership and the gold membership is that with the gold membership, you get one brand new trading robot every single month. Okay, so every month there'll be a brand new trading robot with instructions, with settings, whole bunch of stuff, video tutorials. There's in actual fact, there's a massive set of video tutorials that are put together to get you on board. If you're completely new to trading robots, you can actually go through as a gold member and look at, I think there's like 6 or 7 videos that walk you through step by step setting up robots, trading with robots. So if you don't even know the first thing about it, this walks you through every single thing you need to know. I've done a massive course on this called Automate My Trading, and that's still running. We've got guys joining that all the time who are actually building robots. They've now got the opportunity to build robots on behalf of Trading Nut as well. So it's a double banger here, okay? So we're going to build this community of traders that are helping each other, creating automated systems, some semi-automated, some fully automated, and then we've really got to nurture that manual trading mindset as well, because that's where you can really get those pinpoint entries. Okay, but there's a combination. It's not for everyone. Some people love automated, some people love manual, some people are a bit in between. So we try and cater for everyone here at Trading Nut. Now, the good news about the gold membership is up until 1st of October, it's only $1 to get in the door. Okay, so $1. So to change from your pro to your gold, or keep your pro if you want, there's no real need to if you move to gold, because gold gets all the benefits of pro. You get access to 52 traders, you get access to any other products you had in the past, and you still get access to 52 traders, and you get that robot every single month. And I'm trying my hardest to get the first one in there. It's like literally, it will be in there. Let's say it will be in there by the time this hits the airwaves. If not, let's say it's going to be in there. It's going to be in there. In actual fact, the only thing I need to do now is upload it to the site. Everything else is in place. It's been tested. It's looking great. It's working great. I can't wait for you guys to check it out. It's really, really special. I call this one the RT Sniper, okay? So, guys, I want you to check this out. $1 is all it takes to get in there and check it out. Now, other things that are in there. So we've got Q&A sessions with the, the other traders. So I'm going to do those as a bit of a bonus, so when we get the chance. And in actual fact, I've got one coming up this weekend. So if you're listening to this straight off the bat, if you see any of the promotions I'm going to do, hopefully you can get access to this. If not, you'll find it in the gold membership later. But it's free for everyone to attend. And although there is a limited number, I think we've got a limited number of 100 that we can actually fit in the door. So it's a Q&A session with one of the traders from the show. In fact, it's the trader that's up on this show. And if you've read the title of the show, you know who it's going to be. It's Mr. Andre Stewart. And the reason I've got him on here and decided to go with Andre for the first episode of Trading Nut is, and we'll talk about the Q&A session in a second, is because of his journey through the 52 Traders podcast. It was absolutely fantastic. If you haven't heard it, you want to jump back and listen to it. He started off with, coming on the show as a struggling trader. Then he sort of 6 months, 9 months later, turned out to be an absolutely phenomenal trader, going from a $20 account to, I don't know where he's at now, but basically the guy's a legend. We've got over 100 people, well over 100 people learning from him. And I mean, I'm in the groups. It's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, I've got him on the show, and this show's going to be really, really different, but very, very interesting. You're going to love it. It's one of those things that you're really going to want to listen to probably 3 or 4 times. We go through an email that one of you listeners sent me, and he didn't really give me any details. I couldn't work out who it was. Didn't even say, "Hi, Cam." It was literally just a big rant. A big rant. Most of it was in capital letters. And what we do is dissect that email, because it's one of these sort of emails that explains all the frustration newbie traders have, or traders that aren't even newbie, they're already sort of on the way, have. And we go through it with Andre. We dissect the email. It's an absolutely fantastic show. Stuff that you're not going to hear anywhere else. And look, that's what I want to try and bring you guys here on Trading Nut. Now, what else can I tell you? Right, so the Q&A session we're running with Andre. To get access to it, go to, and I think we do mention a link at the end of the session I have with him, but I recorded it about a month ago. So this is the new link you want to go to. Go to tradingnut.com in actual fact, just go to tradingnut.com and it'll be the very first episode of tradingnut.com, and we'll have a link on there to the registration page for this Q&A session with Andre, and we're going to, you can just ask him anything. You're going to hear a lot of him talking in this episode, and there's bound to be questions that you're going to have that come out. And this guy shares way too much in these Q&A sessions, so I do recommend checking it out on the live session. I don't know if the replay is going to be available to everyone. I don't know how long it's going to be up. If it's going to be up, if it's just going to be locked away to gold members, I'm not too sure. So it is in your best interest to try and get along to this live session. What else can I tell you here? There's a few free gifts in the membership as well. So if you're not a subscriber, join up, jump onto tradingnut.com, leave your email, and you're not only going to get my best ever episode, but you're also going to get, I don't even mention this on the site, you're going to get 4 strategies from the 52 Traders podcast that traders had left in an ebook. You're going to get a hidden interview. I don't even mention that either on the actual site. You're going to get a hidden interview where one of my guests talks about his one-on-one session, or full-day session with Mark Douglas, one of the legends of trading psychology, who's now passed on. But this guy talks to us about what he learned from that one-day session with him in his apartment in Chicago. It's absolutely fantastic. Hidden interview, not aired on any of the shows before, only in the members area. So all you need to do is leave your email to get access to that. And you're going to get a free Q&A session as well that you're going to get to see the replay of. And that goes for, I think, about 40 minutes. Righty-ho. I think that's it. I knew it was going to be a bit of a long intro here because it is the first episode of the Trading Nut podcast. And the good news is you can listen to the full thing. And I know that when I had the 52 Traders podcast, I had episodes where I had over 15,000 people listening to or downloading one particular episode. I haven't actually gone back and checked if the number was higher now. It probably is, because I haven't checked it for a long time. But I know there was a lot of disgruntled people when I put the show behind a paywall. But the good news is, guys, these shows going forward are absolutely free for you to listen to. No qualms. I'm going to let you listen to these for free. I know it takes me a lot of time and effort, and I'm just hoping that you guys try out the gold membership, because I think that's going to offer you a lot more value anyway. And we all win at the end of the day, especially when you start seeing these robots that are rolling off the conveyor belt here on a monthly basis. All right, guys, so $1 to get in. Let's get on with this show today with me, Andre, going through this email, and expect some really, really good interviews coming up. I've got them lined up in the show in the coming weeks. All right, guys, let's get on with it. All right, folks, so I've got Andre Stewart here with me, back on the show. It's an update episode where we're actually going to do something a little bit different. We're going to start off by going through an email that got sent to me yesterday, which I thought was worthwhile going through, because it is from quite a negative place. I mean, the guy who sent it to me, I don't think he really wanted a response or anything, but it was just a rant. And we're going to go through that, and we're going to break it down, because I think there's some lessons in there that you guys can take away. And Andre, I know, is the master of price action and is going to be able to help dispel some of these myths that are in the actual email. So, Andre, how's things with you anyway?
It's extremely hot. Other than that, great.
I think the entire northern hemisphere is going through what sounds like a massive, massive heat wave at the moment. I mean, the fires everywhere. The poor Greeks with that tragic thing I saw on the news last night where their holiday destination was just completely destroyed, and I don't know how many people lost their lives, but it's crazy.
Really, I don't watch the news, so I don't know what happened.
I mean, there was literally it was terrible stories. I mean, this people fleeing from the fire, and one car, the guy survived, the car behind him didn't, and he jumped out the car and legged it. People leaving wives and all sorts of stuff around, behind, and just by meters, and they're getting caught by the flames and stuff. So it is, Look, I mean, I'm actually working for New Zealand Fire at emergency at the moment, so all I see is fire every day. But also, and then in Japan as well. They're going through this massive heat wave and people dying all over the place. But I can imagine it being hot over there in Southern California.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Greece.
No, exactly.
Not bad as all. My heart goes out to those people. That's no bueno.
Yeah, and trading wise, how are things going with you?
You know me, Cam. I'm constantly pushing the envelope. Quest for simplicity. The quest for the ever elusive 90% win rate. Just going against everything that people think about trading. That it's highly possible, right? That's my quest. I'm not stopping till I get there.
Yeah, actually, I had a YouTube comment come through. I think it was YouTube saying, it was from Facebook. A guy going, look, I think it was a quote that I posted from Avdo. Was like going, 1 to 2% a day will eventually make you rich. You don't need to post 20-30% a day, all this sort of stuff. And this guy's like, 1 to 2% a day is ridiculous. This is just, hyping people up. And I'm like, wait, I mean, this is the sort of stuff, this is bread and butter, isn't it? I mean, for the guys like yourself and other mentors that you've learnt from. I mean, do you want to sort of at least dispel that myth off the bat?
What I love about Abdo is he sticks to his system. That works for him, right? And I think too many people just initially want to, copy this, copy that, right? And there's no initiative, right? As far as like taking the bull by the horns. And you have to think, right? Like, again, I've had mentors on the inside, and what I've been told goes against the 1% a day thing, right? Do you really think if you have, let's take Goldman Sachs, for instance, right? We got an institution that had typically 1 to 2 losing days a year. Do you think they make only 1%? Probably not. You think they do maybe 5, 10, 15, 20? Probably, right?
Yeah.
Because it's logical. If you have, so I know for a fact, a fund manager, and I'm not going to name his name because I can't, has a pretty high win rate, and he's risking 10% of trade, right? So consequently, the kid's doing, can't call him a kid because he's about my age, the guy's doing 30, 40, in some instances, 50% on return a day. The thing, too, is like you can't think inside of a freaking box. When you think inside of a freaking box, you try to do what other people do. And to me, it's illogical. If you have a 70 to 75% win rate, you can risk more per trade. So, but then it also goes, can you mentally handle that, right? Because some people can't. Maybe Abdo is doing what works for him. Me, my goal at a minimum is 5%. It's about to go up to 10, just because I understand price really well. So I see now how I can do the 10% a day. So to each his own, right? To each his own. So that's kind of my thoughts on that.
Superb. And look, I mean, it just sort of, if people want to jump onto the Facebook thing, I mean, the guy actually deleted his post in the end. I don't know, it was an A4 sized comment, so he obviously felt quite deeply about it. And a similar sort of space I think he's coming from in terms of where this guy has come from, who sent me this email just out of the blue, and look, there's caps in here, everything seems to be underlined. A lot of sort of desperation and anger and sort of frustration in these messages, and I think it's just I mean, we'll talk about it actually when we go through this email. So look, let's start off with reading the first little bit, and we'll just chunk it down because it is quite long. And he doesn't even say hi, Cam. I mean, that's a bit weird off the bat. I started to wonder whether or not he'd just copy and paste it off something on the internet, and then sort of realised that he's just having a rant. He didn't even say bye either, which is a bit weird.
Probably had a really bad trading day.
Yeah. So if he's listening, you know it's you. And look, I think hopefully this can help you out. I'm not reading it out to try and embarrass you or anything like that. I think it's just more, let's see if we can help you out and get you in a better state of mind.
He's not the only one that's going through what he's going through.
Exactly. So let's start off. So it was £40,000 I lost trading. My savings and wages, hard-earned blood, sweat and tears, bust my gut doing a low-paid job. JOB equals a just over broke job, just getting by week financially. I never had one good profit, never ever, just wiped out my accounts over 10 years. You get hooked into wanting the trading dream of a slightly nicer life and not having to work maybe. The trading dream of great wealth so retail traders can keep putting more of their savings or wages in the trading account and they rob you again. The rich robbing the less rich. From weak hands, the brokers take your money off you, then go and give their go to their house top pro traders and make big money. So, if we sort of break this down, I suppose he's got a view of the trading industry as a whole. I mean, what's your sort of take on this, Andre?
It is what you make it, and I'll explain. I think the issue, and I think how we can boil it down to, is the issue to me personally is the education out there. Now, why am I saying that? Because you're taught to look at everything that you're not supposed to be looking at, right? And the hard part about analyzing this too is we don't have his chart in front of us, right? So we can't see if he has a crap ton of indicators at the bottom. Trying to trade based off of those. There's, those are the unknowns about this. Now, initially, if you've lost 40,000 pounds that you didn't have to lose to begin with, why are you putting 40? Like you have to be logical, right? Don't use 1,000 pounds. Use 500. I'm an advocate of people trading $100 at a time. Why? You have to work through the emotional standpoint, right? And one thing that I haven't shared with many people that I do, that I still do to this day, is I don't journal my trades. I don't think it's necessary from a path to getting profitable prospect. I study the losses way more than I do the trades. So every day I write down mistakes that I make. And now I'm aware of the mistakes that I make, and I don't want to do them again. I think that's something that this guy can benefit from. And I'll show you. I took a 3-pip loss on AUD USD yesterday that I posted in the group. Yeah. Ended up getting back in and making 23. But I wrote that down on my daily mistakes. And I'll read it to you. AUD USD entry was too early before the news. Got stopped out by 3 pips, re-entered, and then went in my planned direction. And then underneath it, what would have worked? Entering as it rejected, and that would have been better. Instead of me trying to be Andre's God's gift to trading, I should have just entered as the market was rejecting, as I anticipated, and not try to call where the market was rejecting, right? So it's that kind of self-analysis that I think a lot of people don't do that would help take them to the next level. About the whole job aspect, just over broke, I can agree with him unless you do what you love, right? And you can tell, just getting by week to week financially, he doesn't like what he does. And not many people do. And it sucks because I've been there. I've been at jobs all day long, daydreaming of trading from my phone at work, getting in trouble and not caring because, again, like you can't tell me what to do. I am me, and I'm going to do what I want to do. This is what I want to do, right? Hindsight, egotistical, stupid, yes. Did it pay off? Yes. Well, he says he's. I feel for the guy because you can tell he's coming from a standpoint of financial gain. I don't see any love for trading in this email. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when I'm at the gym, I'll play trading videos from my mentors or just resources that I agree with, who I can't name, on my phone while I'm doing cardio, right? And I'll watch that. Like, that's how much I love trading. And I think if this gentleman or young lady, I don't know, got to that point, then he'd probably, or she would probably be looking at trading from a totally different perspective.
Yeah, it's a valid point. It's all, if you sort of distill the first 3 paragraphs down, it's all about money and what you can get out of it versus the process, the outcome versus the process, which I've heard before in the show where we had a guy come on and talk about trading psychology. So yeah, it's an interesting one. So look, let's move on to the next part. So he goes on about like the news events, like 24/5 news data, economic news data, geopolitical news data, commitment of trader open interest data, futures expires, rollover, options expires, Trump comments and others likewise. There's like price action is constantly reacting to all the above, a constant daily news data bombardment, and then in capitals, prices up, prices in an uptrend. The news is very bullish, and price dumps big time. Prices in a downtrend. The news is very bearish, and price pumps big time. So you just don't know where you are with price action really. How can you trust price action? What is it telling you it's bullish? What it's telling you is it's bullish. Sorry, I think it says when it's telling you it's bullish, 5 minutes later, it's 10 fathoms deep. The only things that come to mind is brokers do not get up in the morning to go give their money away to retail traders. Sorry, let me read that again. The only thing that comes to mind is that brokers don't get up in the morning to go, let's give our money away to retail traders. Hell no. You can't beat price action. It's a volatile algorithm. It's made to trick you out of your money, death by 1,000 cuts. So, price action, Andre, what are your thoughts on this? It's designed to trick you theory here.
The easiest thing, a simple fix. 90% of traders don't understand that price is moving to the less liquid side of the market, right? And it makes me wonder, like, what is he looking at is in terms of trading education, right? Is he looking at YouTube? I've never found anything of value on YouTube. What is he looking at? Instagram, Facebook, right? Half of the crap on there is fake anyway. Price action. You know me. I don't care about price patterns, right? What do I care about? A significant price where a decision will be made whether something's going to go long or short. Also, the third price that no one talks about is the fair price, right? Where's that at? That's a magnet for price. Those little things, if he hunted them out with, or just vigorously hunted them out, could turn his trading around. In the news, so I'm going to be very raw. The news, you need to know about it. Trump's Twitter, yeah, you need to know about that. Like, I frequently trade with Trump's Twitter in mind, right? Because he'll tweet something and there you go. He's either going to help you or hurt you, right? Futures, expiry, rollovers, blah, blah. It's all a function of price, right? And again, he's probably trained himself to look at everything but the price. And significant price, not just price. I don't care about support and resistance. I think it's stupid, right? Because it's a game of best price. And how this particular asset is going to be evaluated at a particular price. That's all. That's literally it. That's like literally it. And what he or she would find is that a lot of times these news setups work on or at a significant price. Like dollar Canada for today that I missed. I was pissed because I was up trading London. It was like 2 a.m. and I said, okay, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to trade the oil news report because I know it's going to be a good trade, right? So I have my levels plotted, and I shorted DAX, made a little over 8%, and just totally forgot about USD CAD. Looked at USD CAD and I said, wow, I'm an idiot, because the whole purpose of me getting up was to trade that, and I missed it. But the point is, it was a function of a specific price where dollar Canada gained strength against the dollar, right? Again, you have to ask yourself, what am I looking at? Am I looking at price, or am I looking at indicators? Am I looking at the news? Blah. Like, I look at the news. Don't get me wrong. I'm aware of it. And as you know, I like to trade the interest rate decisions. There's one tonight on Euro. I have my prices that I think are going to get a response mapped out, and I'm going to wait and see. Market's going to do one or two things. It's going to reject buying or reject selling. That's it. So about the robbing and all that stuff, right? Again, banks don't give a crap about your stop loss. Why? We don't matter in the grand scheme of things. In a $1 trillion market, in a market this big, a couple of retail trader stops aren't going to matter much, right? We just get caught up in price patterns and other stuff that doesn't matter. And it sounds like he's caught up in what doesn't matter. Now, what he doesn't see is the answer to his question. And the only reason I can say this is because I was in his shoes, right? The answer to his questions are in his losses. But again, you have to ask yourself, have you looked at your losses from a non-biased perspective, right? And you know what I've been experimenting with, Cam. You know what I've been experimenting with. Now, the fact that no one has said, oh, I know why that price level is there, shows me, and I post my charts in this group, shows me that very few people will hunt the information down. He's not hunting the right information down because it's put right in front of your face. So,
and it's spending the time, isn't it, to actually go, why has this happened?
Yeah.
Right. And it's,
trading where it's going to be a function of where did it happen. Then you go to a higher time frame. The answer's right there.
And the funny thing is, like, as you've said in past interviews and that, you've said, look, everything's logical. The market is logical, but you've got to work out the logic behind it, right? It's like what was the other thing that was? Anyway. I had a good analogy that I used to use. I've forgotten it now, but actually it was my web design. Designing websites. If you give somebody sort of a website and go, right, I want you to change this on the website, and they've never done any website development courses or know anything about it, they're just completely new, they're like, I've got no idea. I'm just looking at a web page, and what am I supposed to do? Whereas once you start to sort of unpick it and get to the very root of it, which in essence is a pixel that makes up a website or an application that sits on your computer, once you understand how that works, everything starts to unfold, and you can then pretty much do anything, right? And this is sort of how I see understanding price action and price and where price is going to move. Once you understand the underlying thing that drives price, all of a sudden stuff starts to reveal itself. And I was, to the point of sort of seeking out the information. Yep, look, we could all go off there and spend days and hours and months or years or whatever it is trying to work it out. But the thing that really helped me, other than the fact that like I've got you as a mentor, Andre, and you've been teaching me a whole bunch of stuff, but ironically, it was the 2 mini courses you did for 52 Traders listeners, which can be purchased relatively cheaply on the site. The supply and demand one and the volume profile one. So combining those both together basically give you the answer to, give you a sort of demonstration of exactly what Andre's talking about here as to how price moves. So those 2 mini courses, they don't take long to get through, and I would recommend watching them multiple times to really understand it. And if you want an even deeper level, then obviously you talk to Andre and see if you can come on board Chart Artist Trading. But let's move on. So that's sort of price action, and this next part is sort of broken up into brokers, and then just all sorts of stuff. So right, let me get to the point where it was going on about death by 1,000 cuts. The brokers are not your friends. Brokers just need you to put your savings or wages into their trading account, so price action can take it off you. Brokers know sooner or later retail traders will lose all their money. The CME pit closed. Why? The global retail market is the biggest untapped market ever going. Millions of individuals with all their savings sitting in bank accounts. The trading dream is the biggest con, which offers retail traders great wealth for the biggest price. For the biggest prize of all the biggest prize of all for brokers, which is retail traders' capital. The trading dream dupes Joe Public, aka retail traders, to fund a trading account. So the price action algo can rape you of your hard-earned capital. The government investigation into trading, it's fact 87% that many lose their money like me, and very few win. Why are the many getting trading wrong? So let's carry on here a little bit. Let's stop and talk about the brokers, Andre, and your view on the brokers. This might not take that long.
Yeah, brokers. 2 things. You're either trading with a market maker or you're trading with the STP ECN. 2 things, right? That's simple. How do you know? You need to start comparing charts, right? You can go. There's so many free charts out there. You should be able to tell who's going against you and who is not, right? But again, if you don't do that work, it's on you, right? It's on you. This is, and this is also a function of one's self-awareness into self-responsibility, right? He or she is responsible for their own capital, they are responsible for their own trading decisions, right? So, okay, maybe you bought a top, right? Maybe you sold the bottom because you were waiting for confirmation, right? It's easy to blame the broker, right? And I don't know if I shared this with you, but one of the things that helped me become profitable was I was blaming my broker. So I opened up another account. I compared the feeds. The feeds were the same. What did that tell me? The issue was me.
Yeah, great. I don't think you mentioned that before. That's a great.
Oh yeah, I did.
Way to fix it. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this broker's taking my stops. This broker's out to get me. Great broker, by the way. I still trade with them. And I looked at another ECN who had good reviews, and I was like, God damn it, it's me.
Realization. That is a fantastic realization, I think. That is a great recommendation as well. So anyone that thinks it's the broker trying to rip you off, it might be, but go and get another broker with good reviews and check out the data. Check it out. Anything else on those points?
No, just looking where you're the problem, not the market.
And I suppose, to the fact that, why very few win and the many getting trading wrong, 87%, losing. What's your sort of view on the 87%?
I think it's insane. But why? Because no one makes changes. That simple, right? Like, I literally remember going through a chart saying, why did the market stop here? Why did the market stop here? And again, I got to give another shout out to Dan, because me working with Dan, I was like, dang it, man, I'm long, he's short. Why? Go to a chart and look, right? Like, I'll just get personal. I don't care. Dan helped me out at a really, really hard time in my life, extremely hard time in my life, and I believe you know what it is. Jesus, like, hard time in my life. And I don't want to say what he did for me because I don't want to set a bad expectation, but he was giving me hints at trades, right? And I'm like, damn, I wanted to buy here. He wanted to short here. Well, why is that? Right? You take what you do if you're not profitable versus someone that is profitable, and then you try to understand the why behind it. If you can't do that, okay, and I'll preface that by saying this. It's hard to find a profitable trader to kind of get behind, though, right? But they're out there. They're out there. I post charts on my Instagram. I recently deleted the app because I spent too much time on it, but still, I posted one today, deleted the app. It's a time waster. But I do that not to say, hey, come on board with me, I'm a good mentor. No. If you can crack the code from my chart, I'm all for it. But, and there's another trader on IG who I won't shout out for their privacy. And this trader posts charts. I'm sorry I can't name who this trader is. But I took a long, hard look at at those entries, and I was like, okay, her and I have very similar styles. And she's a way better trader than me. And I want to know why. And I didn't send messages or anything. What did I do? I went to the damn charts, right? Like, that's what you got to do. And again, if you can't do that, you may just want to consider, here's the thing. If you're finding you can't trade, give someone some money that has a background to trade for you. That's it.
Yeah, I think, the key point there for me is like the change thing is right. If it's not working, you got to change. And I think like even some of the guys I've spoken to recently, on other interviews that haven't aired yet, that was the difference, because they started when I started, and that was the main difference, is they saw it wasn't working, changed all the time, like constantly, until they got something that worked. And they kept digging for that gold, whereas I sort of got stuck. And like, I think that's where a lot of people do get stuck, is just that, like, it shouldn't be this hard. Why is what I'm doing now not working? And they don't change quick enough, or they don't learn quick enough and then change. So that's the main thing. And look, I even just the other day chucked on some headphones, put on this thing that changes your brainwaves, and went for a walk to try and come up with some ideas. And by the end of it, I was like, oh, great, I've got a new approach. Not necessarily a technical approach, but just approach to what I was doing. And it helped immensely. And had I not done that, I would have still been doing the same thing. And in some cases, banging my head against the wall. Okay, right. That's my rant. So let's go on to the last part here. So that many traders get around. So what's the weakest link here? Trading providers, training courses, indicators, trading style, trading systems, robot parameters. From weak hands to a broker's in-house traders, market makers. 2 to 3 weeks, I did investigate brokers' profits, office space costs, job salaries, all 5-star lifestyles. Brokers have best paid jobs, Even TA analysts, 150k starting per year. Best office space around the world. The high life for them big money. Binary options was a scam. And then it's got black op, question mark. Cryptos is a scam, ongoing, black op, question mark. Trading is a scam, black op, question mark. Scam is to get retail traders newbies to direct their savings and wages, assets into a broker's account so they can rate them of your capital. It is what it is. If trading was easy, we would all be millionaires and the brokers would have closed down. This is the only way I can make this puzzle and its pieces fit together and into a place of what's going on here, I'm afraid. So that was the end of the message, and I will post it up on the blog so that you guys can actually go through and have a read of it and then listen to this interview on the back end of it. So let's just, what do we got here? What is the weakest link here? What do you think the weakest link here is, Andre?
Everything that he posted he's correct, right? He's correct. Again, trading's not a scam. Crypto, possibly. Binary options, very well documented as a scam. He's right on that. Now, I want to address this, like the technical analyst job at 150K per year. That's cool. But if it 150K isn't anything, it's nothing, right? It's not a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. It can change someone's life who's only made 10 to 20K a year. I get that part. But then when you factor in, children, home, vehicles, gas, food, if you're charitable, you factor that in, and what's your take home after taxes after that too, right? So I wouldn't classify 150K as 5-star. But if broker profits are really that crazy, so let me put it to you this way: if we're at the poker table, and if we're at a poker table and I don't gamble, and there's a known loser at the table, and you're a known winner, who are you going to target? Right? Yeah. It's like people just make it out to be negative, and I prefer to see it as a natural function of markets, right? It just is a natural function of markets. Well, why is that? It's just how it is. People don't understand the simple facts. Price pushes to the left of the side of the market. Things get evaluated at prices. They just don't question the crap that they've been taught. Education. I think trading education was started by someone who couldn't trade, but saw patterns. I think that's how it started. Of course, brokers are going to make money because, they're going to make money off of the spread because they widen the spread from their liquidity provider. That's how they make money. So of course they're going to make a crap ton of money. It's obvious, right? And you as the trader, you have a responsibility to yourself to say, okay, how can I beat the market? And essentially, you're not beating the market. How can you be in sync with the market? If that gentleman hasn't asked himself that question, then it's on him, unfortunately. That's just really how it is. I think what he's like, indicators. If you're looking at indicators, what are you not looking at? Price. How do you look at price? You need to evaluate where you see choices being made. What is a candlestick? It's literally a linear graph of supply and demand, right? But again, people just look at it as from a candle perspective. Then they want to go with depth of market, order flow, all that stuff, right? Yeah, there's, of course, okay, cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But you got to remember, if you're not a profitable trader, you're being nickel and dimed. It's no different than having bills, right? So all in all, I feel for the gentleman who wrote this email, because I just remember yelling at that $20 bill. I remember. I literally remember. I know the feeling. I know it.
Well, hopefully
but you have to embrace it.
Yeah, and look, I mean, hopefully this sort of email got the frustration out of him, and hopefully he listens to this episode, and maybe it will, make him sort of have a different view on things and answer a few questions, and who knows where he'll end up. Maybe I'll get another email in a wee while saying a whole bunch of other stuff on the flip side. Now, before we wrap this up, Andre, so we had an idea around 10 traders and taking 10 traders on a journey.
Yes. So here's my thought process. You know what I've been on lately, and you've seen the focus group that I have, and I'm telling you that and I'm not saying this to say, hey, I'm the world's best mentor, because I don't think so. There's great mentors out there. They're kicking butt. Like, Glenn is making better trades than me. Like, I'm like, dude, really? You see the guys that haven't been trading for a year in the focus group that I have that are kicking butt and taking names. Still some mistakes, because they're putting ego into it, right? Trying to call the market when you need to let the market declare what it wants to do, and you go with it, right? I think once we get that out of those guys, sky's the limit. So it'll be easy pickings. So I think everyone deserves to. If you want to make money, you deserve to, right? But you don't deserve it if you don't put in the work. So what I want to do is I want to take 10 students, the next 10 students that come on board with chartartistrading.com. I'm going to put you in my focus group, and I'm going to teach you how to evaluate price with no indicators. Zero indicators. Zero. A horizontal line. That's it. Horizontal line. And I want to see how they perceive it. I want to make a point. The point is, if you are given the right information, and you execute on the right information without personal bias, how good you can become. Don't get me wrong, it's not the Holy Grail. There's no Holy Grail. I think the Holy Grail is price and risk management personally, but I want to see how they will turn out after the end of a few weeks. That's really what I want to do. There was something else I was going to say, and I think I freaking forgot. Because also I am thinking about, we'll see. I'm thinking about closing up mentoring at the end of this year. Just to focus on who's in the group and really just give them attention and get them to where they want to be. I do want to hand over, and probably saying too much, I do want to hand over the teaching aspect to someone else, where I've trained, and probably do a live trading room during times that I want to trade. So those are my bigger plans. I do want to start a fund with the traders that I've trained, just with a different perspective. The perspective is going to be, I don't want rich people at my fund. I want people who have kids that need to go to college, who don't have hope of buying a house or buying a new freaking car. Like, that's what I want to do. And I want people who care about people to ride with me on this. So those are my goals for the next couple of years. I want to start a fund that caters to the middle, lower class. Because as you've seen, it doesn't take a lot of money to make a lot of money. It just doesn't. It's another myth. So That's what I want to do.
And that's that's great. And I mean, if people listening to this don't know Andre's backstory, I mean, basically, you're on the show as a guest. As a struggling trader back in, I think it was 2016, and we went through this process with a trader called Nick. Came out the back of it, and he hadn't really improved that much at all. But then 9 months later, you'd gone and worked on your own stuff and came back, and you started off with $300 after losing your job, and then lost pretty much all of that money down to about $20 in your first week, and then from there you've been unstoppable. So guys, as Andre said, he's only going to do this for a little bit longer. If you want to come on board, trust me, I'm on there. It's absolutely fantastic. The value you get out of this, what's it, $650 at the moment, and you get unlimited one-on-one mentoring. You get a chat room, a whole bunch of other stuff, software, etc. And these, the next 10 that come on board here. It would be great if we could sort of get your sort of profile up on the site and almost sort of flip the script and do what I did with Nick back in the day, where we took a bunch of traders and then over the course of 3 weeks saw how they changed. But in this case, it'll be a much greater sort of in-depth insight into, in-depth training. You'll get the full works to see, if you can, how we can change these guys forever.
Yeah, and we're going to put them under NDAs because,
yeah. And like,
you've seen this, and it's cool.
The other thing is to think about is that, how many traders have you seen go underground in your time, Andre?
Cam, they don't want to be found, and I understand why, and I'm getting to that point.
Yeah, and so if you don't want to lose contact, if you want to be in the crew, then it's not going to be around forever. So, all right, guys, we'll wrap it up there. Best thing to do is to head over to chartartisttrading.com, sign up, and Andre can lead you from there. Or if you want to check out this email, I'll post it up in the show notes, and details of what we've just discussed here around chartartisttrading.com. And look, if you don't want to go in all boots and all, take a look at the mini courses that I mentioned earlier on, the volume profile and the supply and demand one on 52 traders, because that'll give you a real good insight into Andre's teaching style, and also you'll unwrap price action completely opposite of what we've just gone through today in terms of that, what was written in the email.
And I literally just got a message from a trader who I showed this to. Literally just now at 6:31, man. I love what I do. Oops, sorry, curse. I love it. I love it, Cam. I love it. Sometimes I don't want to quit teaching, but I think it's time to hang it up pretty soon.
Yeah, cool. All right, look, thanks again, and we'll chat again very soon.
Will do. Thanks for having me.
All right, folks, so there we are. The first episode of Trading Nut is done and dusted. Now, what to do next? Head over to tradingnut.com to register for that Q&A session we're going to run this coming weekend on the 8th of September. So it's Saturday, the 8th of September for me and everyone in Australia at 11 a.m. New Zealand time, 9 a.m. Sydney time, or Friday, 7 p.m. New York, midnight London. Oh, it's a bit late, but hey guys, it's not too late. Midnight, you're coming home from the pub, it's not too late. Now, we're going to be on a live call, so check that out. There'll be a link in the show notes, so head over there, tradingnut.com. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. You're going to get my best interview. You're going to get a few other bonuses as well. And for $1, you can come on board and be a Trading Nut Gold member and get access to the RT Sniper, the first robot rolling off the monthly robots that we're going to have as part of the Gold membership, along with all that goodness in the 52 Trader podcast that I know you're going to love. All right, guys, until next time, I wish you trading happiness and success. Oh, one last thing, guys. Forgot to mention it, and it's so important on this episode, the very, very first episode of the Trading Nut podcast. I need your help, all right? I need your help. I need you to go and leave a review on iTunes. And the good thing is, Android or Stitcher or SoundCloud or wherever you're listening to this, go in there and leave a review and rate it. Give it a star rating. I know you've listened to the 52 Traders podcast, most of you guys anyway, so please head over there. Even if you rated that or left a review for 52 Traders, I'm going to have to ask you to do it again for Trading Nuts. This is really going to help keep these episodes coming to your earbuds on a regular basis and get that trading knowledge and information into your head. So, guys, all you need to do is get on that. If you're on the phone, on the app, you should be able to find it pretty quickly. There's buttons there. Just look for a review, leave a review, type it in, make it quick. You can do it quick, and then give a star rating. 5 would be great. I want to see some reviews coming in to help this podcast lift off and get to where the 52 Traders podcast left off. All right, folks, have a great trading week. I'll see some of you guys in the chat room because as a 52 Traders Pro member, you still get access to that as well. All right, see you later. Bye.